The arrival of the human diplomat. In a vast chamber carved from an ancient asteroid, representatives from countless species gathered for a momentous occasion. The Galactic Council, a governing body that spanned galaxies, was about to welcome its first human diplomat, a significant event that stirred both excitement and skepticism among its members. High above, crystalline structures refracted light into a dazzling spectrum, illuminating the faces of beings from diverse worlds. Among them was Ambassador Zorith, a being made entirely of shimmering gas encased in an intricate containment suit. He floated gracefully beside Chancellor Vexen, whose bioluminescent patterns pulsed rhythmically with anticipation. "Look at them," Zorith remarked, his voice echoing softly through the chamber. "Sending a single human diplomat to negotiate with us is sheer arrogance." Vexen's patterns shifted to shades of blue, indicating concern. "We must not underestimate them. Their history is filled with unexpected resilience." As they spoke, a transport vessel docked at the chamber's entrance, its sleek design contrasting sharply with the ancient architecture surrounding it. A hush fell over the assembly as they turned their attention toward the door. Marcus Steele emerged from the vessel, tall and imposing in his formal attire, a tailored black suit that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. His presence commanded attention. There was an air of confidence about him that intrigued some while alarming others. "Protocol dictates a minimum of 3 representatives for full council sessions," Vexen announced, his voice dripping with artificial concern. "What makes this human so special?" Ambassador Krill, an insectoid creature with multifaceted eyes capable of processing multiple viewpoints simultaneously, observed intently. "His diplomatic record is impressive but riddled with gaps, an enigma wrapped in success." As Marcus approached the center stage, he scanned the room with cool gray eyes that seemed to reflect an understanding far beyond his years. He took a deep breath, preparing himself for what was to come. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," he began, his voice steady but resonant. "I stand before you not just as a representative of humanity but as an ambassador for peace and cooperation among our worlds." The chamber erupted in whispers. Some were skeptical while others were intrigued by his boldness. Zorith leaned closer to Vexen. "He speaks well for a primitive species." Vexen's luminescence flickered thoughtfully. "Perhaps we should listen." Marcus continued speaking passionately about humanity's journey from conflict to cooperation, highlighting their achievements in diplomacy and innovation. He spoke of unity in diversity, a message that resonated deeply within some members but raised eyebrows among others who viewed humanity as unpredictable. Suddenly, without warning, an energy surge rippled through the chamber, a disturbance that sent shivers down spines across multiple species. Lights flickered ominously as alarms blared throughout the vast structure. "What is happening?" Zorith exclaimed, panic evident in his gaseous form. Vexen's bioluminescence shifted to alarm red as he activated emergency protocols. "We must investigate this disturbance immediately." As chaos unfolded around them, Marcus stood firm at the center of it all. He felt an inexplicable connection to this moment, an instinctive understanding that something far greater than mere diplomacy was at stake. In hushed tones, whispers began circulating about an ancient legend, the tale of Baba Yaga, a powerful entity said to dwell in mystical realms beyond comprehension. Some claimed she could manipulate reality itself, others believed she was merely a myth used to scare children into obedience. Could this disturbance be linked to her? Krill pondered aloud. Vexen nodded gravely. "If so, we must tread carefully." With tensions rising and uncertainty looming over their heads like a dark cloud, Marcus realized he had no choice but to delve deeper into this mystery, not just for humanity's sake but for all species represented in this grand assembly. As he prepared himself mentally for what lay ahead, he understood one thing: this was only the beginning of an extraordinary journey that would challenge everything he knew about diplomacy, and perhaps even awaken powers within himself he had yet to discover. With determination burning bright within him, Marcus Steele stepped forward into uncharted territory, a realm where alliances would be tested and legends would awaken from their slumber. The diplomatic tensions. As Marcus Steele stood before the assembled members of the Galactic Council, the air was thick with anticipation. The energy surge that had disrupted the proceeding still lingered in the atmosphere, casting shadows of uncertainty over the gathering. The council members exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of skepticism and curiosity. A bold declaration. Esteemed members of the council, Marcus began again, his voice steady despite the tension surrounding him. I understand that humanity is a young species among your esteemed ranks, but we come with a spirit of collaboration and innovation. He paused, scanning the room for reactions. We have faced many challenges on our home planet, and through cooperation, we have learned to overcome them. High Chancellor Vexen's bioluminescent patterns shifted to a soft green, indicating contemplation. Your words are commendable, human. But can you assure us that your species will not bring conflict to our council? Marcus straightened his posture, feeling the weight of their gazes. I cannot speak for every human, but I stand here as a representative of peace. We seek to learn from you and share our knowledge in return. Ambassador Krill buzzed softly, his multifaceted eyes narrowing. What do you know of our histories? Our struggles? Our cultures? The weight of history. Marcus took a deep breath, recalling the extensive research he had conducted before this meeting. I know that your civilizations have thrived for millennia, navigating through wars and alliances that have shaped your existence. I also understand that trust is built over time, through shared experiences. A ripple of murmurs spread through the assembly as they considered his words. Yet, doubt still hung in the air like a dense fog. Daxer's crystalline appendages clinked as he gestured dismissively. Words alone will not suffice. We require proof of your intentions. Just then, another surge of energy pulsed through the chamber, causing lights to flicker ominously once more. The council members exchanged worried glances, their attention diverted from Marcus to the source of this disturbance. The legend of Baba Yaga. Could it be her? Zorith whispered to Vexen, his gaseous form quivering slightly with concern. Vexen's luminescence dimmed as he recalled the ancient tales passed down through generations, the legend of Baba Yaga, a powerful entity said to dwell in realms beyond comprehension. If she has awakened, we must tread carefully, he replied gravely. Ambassador Krill turned his attention back to Marcus. This is no longer just a diplomatic meeting, it has become a matter of survival. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine at the mention of Baba Yaga. He had heard whispers about her power and influence during his studies, stories that spoke of her ability to manipulate reality itself and bend others to her will. An unexpected alliance. As discussions continued about how to address this new threat, Marcus realized he needed to take action. He understood that if Baba Yaga was indeed involved, they would need more than just words, they would require unity among all species present. I propose we form a coalition, he suggested boldly. Let us work together to investigate this disturbance and ensure that it does not escalate into something catastrophic. Daxer raised an eyebrow skeptically. And why should we trust you? You are but one human among thousands of us. Because, Marcus replied firmly, if we do not act now, we risk losing everything, our worlds, our cultures, our very existence. The council members exchanged glances once more, weighing his words against their fears and doubts. The decision. After what felt like an eternity of silence, Vexen spoke up. Let us convene an emergency session to discuss this matter further. We cannot ignore the potential threat posed by Baba Yaga. With that decision made, Marcus felt a glimmer of hope amidst the uncertainty surrounding him. He had taken a step toward proving humanity's worth on this grand stage, a chance to show that they could stand shoulder to shoulder with beings far older and wiser. As discussions began anew regarding strategies and potential alliances, Marcus found himself at the center of it all, a human diplomat navigating through treacherous waters filled with ancient legends and powerful entities. A new understanding. Hours passed as ideas were exchanged and plans formulated. Marcus listened intently as representatives from various species shared their insights into dealing with Baba Yaga's potential resurgence. "We must approach her with respect," suggested Lyriel, a graceful being from the aquatic planet Thalassa whose voice flowed like water itself. "She is not just a force of destruction, she embodies ancient wisdom and power." Marcus nodded thoughtfully at Lyriel's perspective. Perhaps there was more to Baba Yaga than mere fear and legend suggested. As night fell over the council chamber, illuminated by shimmering lights from above, Marcus felt an unexpected kinship forming among those present. They were all united by a common goal, to confront an unknown force that threatened their existence. The path ahead. With renewed determination coursing through him, Marcus prepared himself for what lay ahead, a journey into uncharted territories where alliances would be forged and legends awakened from their slumber. He understood now that diplomacy was not merely about negotiating terms, it was about understanding each other's fears and aspirations, an intricate dance between trust and uncertainty. As he glanced around at his fellow council members, each representing unique worlds filled with rich histories, Marcus realized that together they could face whatever challenges awaited them. The path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty but also filled with opportunities for growth and understanding, a chance for humanity to prove its worth among the stars. With resolve burning bright within him, Marcus Steele prepared himself for the trials ahead, a journey where he would not only represent humanity but also become an integral part of something much larger than himself, a coalition united against darkness in pursuit of light. Awakening the Baba Yaga. As the council members gathered in the aftermath of Marcus Steele's bold proposal, a palpable tension filled the air. The mention of Baba Yaga loomed over them like a dark cloud, casting shadows on their discussions. Each representative understood that this was not just a matter of diplomacy, it was a confrontation with an ancient power that could disrupt the very fabric of their alliance. The Council's dilemma. High Chancellor Vexen floated above the assembly, his bioluminescent patterns shifting through hues of deep violet, signaling his deep concern. "We must act swiftly. The disturbance we felt earlier is a sign that Baba Yaga's influence is stirring. If we do not address this now, we risk her wrath." Ambassador Krill buzzed with urgency, his compound eyes darting around the chamber. "We need to gather more information about her. Legends speak of her as both a protector and a destroyer. What if she sees our presence here as an affront?" Marcus listened intently, absorbing their fears and concerns. He understood that confronting Baba Yaga would require not just courage but also wisdom. "Perhaps we should seek out those who know her best," he suggested. "Legends often hold grains of truth that can guide us." The search for knowledge. The council agreed to form a delegation to explore the ancient texts and consult with scholars from various species who had studied Baba Yaga's lore. They decided to send a small team led by Marcus, accompanied by Zorith and Lyriel, whose insights into ancient wisdom would prove invaluable. As they prepared for their journey, Marcus felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. He had always been fascinated by myths and legends, but now he was about to step into one himself, an adventure that could change the course of intergalactic relations. Into the mystical forest. The team set off toward the enchanted forest, a place rumored to be intertwined with Baba Yaga's essence. As they entered the forest, vibrant colors surrounded them, trees twisted into fantastical shapes, their leaves shimmering like jewels under the light of 3 suns. "This place feels alive," Marcus remarked, taking in the surreal beauty around him. Lyriel nodded, her aquatic skin glistening as she moved gracefully among the foliage. "The forest is said to be a reflection of Baba Yaga's spirit. It can be both enchanting and treacherous." Zorith floated slightly ahead, his crystalline form glinting in the sunlight. "Stay alert. Legends warn of illusions and traps laid by her to protect her domain." As they ventured deeper into the forest, strange sounds echoed around them, whispers carried by the wind and rustling leaves that seem to communicate secrets only understood by nature itself. Unraveling ancient texts. After hours of navigating through the dense underbrush, they arrived at an ancient stone structure overgrown with vines and moss, a forgotten temple dedicated to Baba Yaga. The air was thick with magic, and Marcus felt an electric charge run through him as they stepped inside. Inside, they discovered scrolls and carvings depicting tales of Baba Yaga's past, her role as a guardian of balance between worlds and her fierce protection against those who sought to exploit nature's gifts. "This is incredible," Marcus breathed, carefully unrolling one of the scrolls. She was revered as much as she was feared. Lyriel examined another scroll depicting battles fought in her name against dark forces threatening harmony across galaxies. "We must understand her motivations if we are to approach her without inciting anger." Zoratha's crystalline appendages tapped rhythmically against the stone floor as he studied the carvings closely. It seems she values respect above all else, an acknowledgement of her power and wisdom. The ritual of awakening. As they pieced together the fragments of history, they stumbled upon an ancient ritual, a way to summon Baba Yaga respectfully without invoking her wrath. It involved offerings from each species present, a token representing their culture and intentions. Marcus felt a surge of determination. This was their chance to approach her on equal footing. They gathered items. Zorath contributed a crystal from his homeworld symbolizing clarity, Lyriel offered a drop of water infused with healing properties, Marcus chose a simple yet profound token, a small piece of earth from his home planet representing humanity's connection to nature. With their offerings in hand, they prepared for the ritual at dawn when magic was said to be strongest in the forest. Facing the unknown. As twilight descended upon them, an eerie calm enveloped the forest. The trio positioned themselves in a clearing surrounded by ancient trees that seemed to lean in closer as if eavesdropping on their intentions. "Remember," Lyriel whispered, "we must approach with humility and respect." Marcus nodded, feeling both nervous and exhilarated. He had never believed he would find himself in such a situation, standing on the cusp of awakening an ancient force that could either bless or curse their mission. As dawn broke, casting golden rays through the trees, they began the ritual, chanting words from ancient texts while placing their offerings at the center of the clearing. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through them, swirling leaves into a tempest that danced around their forms. The ground trembled beneath them as an ethereal figure began to materialize, a woman cloaked in shadows with wild hair flowing like smoke. Baba Yaga, Marcus breathed in awe as he felt her presence envelop them, a mixture of power and mystery radiating from her being. Awakening chaos. But before they could speak or introduce themselves, chaos erupted around them. The wind howled louder, branches snapped violently as if protesting against their intrusion. It became clear that awakening Baba Yaga was not without its consequences. The forest itself seemed agitated by their actions. "Stand firm!" Zorath shouted over the cacophony as he struggled to maintain his composure amidst swirling debris. Lyriel extended her arms toward Baba Yaga, trying to convey peace through gestures rather than words. "We come not as enemies but as seekers of understanding." Baba Yaga's eyes glowed fiercely in response. She regarded them with both curiosity and fury, a duality that sent shivers down Marcus's spine. "You dare summon me?" she thundered, her voice echoing like thunderclaps through the trees. "What do you seek?" Marcus stepped forward bravely despite his fear. This was his moment to convey humanity's intentions clearly. "We seek knowledge and understanding. We wish to unite our worlds against common threats." As he spoke those words into the tempestuous air filled with magic and uncertainty, he realized that this encounter would determine not just their fate but perhaps even reshape intergalactic relations forever. With every ounce of courage within him, Marcus Steele prepared himself for what lay ahead, a confrontation with Baba Yaga that would test not only his resolve but also humanity's place among the stars. The bargain with Baba Yaga. As the wind howled and the forest trembled around them, Marcus Steele stood at the center of the chaos, facing the formidable presence of Baba Yaga. Her ethereal form loomed before him, a blend of beauty and terror, her wild hair swirling like smoke against the backdrop of ancient trees. The air crackled with energy, and Marcus felt an overwhelming sense of both fear and awe. A moment of reckoning. "Why have you summoned me?" Baba Yaga's voice resonated through the clearing, echoing off the trees. It was a sound that commanded attention, a blend of authority and curiosity that sent shivers down Marcus's spine. "We come in peace," Marcus declared, his voice steady despite the tempest surrounding them. "We seek your wisdom and guidance. Our worlds are at risk, and we believe you hold the key to understanding this threat." Baba Yaga regarded him with piercing eyes that seemed to see through his very soul. "You dare to ask for my help? What makes you think I care for your struggles?" The weight of humanity. Marcus took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. He understood that appealing to Baba Yaga's sense of purpose would be crucial. "I know your legend, how you protect the balance between worlds. We are not here to disrupt that balance, we wish to learn from it." Lyriel stepped forward, her voice gentle yet firm. "We offer our respect and our willingness to cooperate. We believe that together we can face whatever darkness approaches." Baba Yaga's expression softened slightly, but skepticism lingered in her gaze. "Respect is earned, not given freely. What will you offer in return for my assistance?" A test of wits. The air grew still as Marcus pondered her question. He realized this was not just a negotiation, it was a test, a challenge to prove their worthiness in her eyes. "We will provide knowledge," he said finally. "Our understanding of technology and innovation can help bridge gaps between our species. We can share our stories, our histories, everything that defines us as humans." Baba Yaga raised an eyebrow, intrigued yet cautious. "Knowledge is valuable but often misused. How do I know you will not turn it against me?" Marcus felt the weight of her scrutiny but stood firm. "Because we are here seeking unity, not division. We have faced our own darkness, and we understand the consequences of power misused." The challenge. Baba Yaga considered his words carefully, her expression inscrutable. "Very well," she said at last. "I will grant you an audience, on one condition: you must pass my challenge. Only then will I decide if your intentions are genuine." "What kind of challenge?" Zorith asked, his crystalline form shimmering with anticipation. "You will face 3 trials," Baba Yaga replied, her voice echoing like thunder through the clearing. "Each trial will test your strength, wisdom, and resolve. Succeed, and I will share my knowledge; fail, and you will leave this place forever." Marcus exchanged glances with Lyriel and Zorith, they understood the gravity of what lay ahead. Preparing for trials. As they prepared for the trials, Marcus felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. He had always believed that challenges brought out the best in people, but this was unlike anything he had faced before. The first trial would test their strength, a physical challenge designed to push them beyond their limits. The second trial would require wisdom, a riddle or puzzle that would demand their intellect and creativity. The final trial would assess their resolve, a test of their commitment to unity and cooperation. Baba Yaga gestured toward a clearing where 3 ancient stones stood tall like sentinels guarding secrets long forgotten. "Your first trial begins now," she declared. The first trial, strength. Marcus stepped forward as the ground beneath him shifted slightly in response to Baba Yaga's magic. The stones began to glow with an otherworldly light as they transformed into towering figures, golems made from the very essence of the forest. "Defeat these guardians," Baba Yaga instructed, her tone unwavering. "Show me your strength." The golems charged at them with incredible speed, their massive forms crashing through the underbrush as they approached. Marcus felt adrenaline surge through him. He had trained for moments like this but never imagined he would face such formidable opponents. "Stay together," he shouted to Lyriel and Zorith as they prepared for battle. Lyriel summoned water from her surroundings, forming it into sharp tendrils that whipped toward one golem, while Zorith used his crystalline appendages to create barriers against incoming attacks. Marcus focused on one golem charging directly at him. He sidestepped its enormous fist just in time and countered with a powerful kick aimed at its knee joint. A test of teamwork. As they fought together, Marcus realized that this trial was not just about individual strength, it was about teamwork and coordination. They communicated silently through gestures and glances, each member playing a crucial role in overcoming their opponents. With every strike and maneuver, they began to wear down the golems until finally, with a combined effort, Lyriel's water tendrils ensnaring one golem while Zorith created an impenetrable barrier, they managed to topple it together. Breathing heavily but filled with determination, they turned their attention to the remaining guardians until all three lay defeated at their feet. A moment of triumph. Baba Yaga observed them closely as they caught their breath after the intense battle. A flicker of approval crossed her features, a sign that they had passed the first trial. "You have shown strength," she acknowledged slowly. "But strength alone is not enough." Marcus nodded in understanding. He knew there was more to prove than mere physical prowess. "The second trial awaits," Baba Yaga continued as she gestured toward an intricate puzzle carved into stone nearby, a riddle etched into its surface that shimmered with ancient magic. "The second trial, wisdom." The riddle glowed brightly as they approached it. "To find what you seek, look within. In silence I speak, in shadows I grin." "What does it mean?" Lyriel pondered aloud as they studied the riddle closely. "It speaks of introspection," Zorith suggested thoughtfully. "Perhaps we must reflect on our own experiences to uncover its meaning." Marcus closed his eyes for a moment, recalling moments from his life where silence had spoken louder than words, times when he had learned valuable lessons through introspection rather than external validation. "The answer lies in understanding ourselves," he said finally. "It's about recognizing our fears and strengths." With newfound clarity guiding them forward, they began discussing their personal journeys, the challenges each had faced on their respective worlds, and how those experiences shaped who they were today. As they shared stories filled with vulnerability and honesty, the riddle began to shift before them until it transformed into a doorway leading deeper into Baba Yaga's realm, a sign that they had unlocked its secret through wisdom gained from shared experiences. The final trial, resolve. Stepping through the doorway brought them into a vast chamber filled with swirling mist and shadows, an ethereal landscape where reality seemed fluid and uncertain. "This is your final trial," Baba Yaga announced from somewhere within the mist. "You must confront your deepest fears, what haunts you most, and emerge united or be lost forever." Marcus felt his heart race as shadows began to take shape around him, visions from his past flickering like ghosts before his eyes, moments of doubt when he questioned his worthiness as a diplomat or leader, times when humanity's darker tendencies threatened to overshadow its potential for good. He turned toward Lyriel and Zorith. He could see similar struggles reflected in their expressions, the weight of expectations bearing down upon them like heavy chains. "We cannot let fear divide us," Marcus urged firmly as shadows closed in around them threateningly. With determination igniting within him once more, a fierce resolve born from unity, they faced their fears head-on together, refusing to succumb to despair or isolation. Emerging victorious. As they confronted each shadowy figure representing their doubts, their voices rising above whispers of uncertainty, they found strength not just within themselves but also in each other's presence, a bond forged through shared struggles becoming an unbreakable force against darkness itself. Finally breaking free from those haunting visions brought forth by Baba Yaga's magic felt liberating, it was as if chains had shattered, releasing them into light once more. "You have passed all three trials," Baba Yaga proclaimed as she emerged from behind swirling mists, revealing herself fully once again, a figure radiating power yet tempered by wisdom gained over centuries spent guarding balance among worlds. "You have proven yourselves worthy allies," she continued softly, now looking at each one individually with respect shining brightly within her gaze, an acknowledgement that transcended mere words spoken aloud. With hearts full of hope renewed by this encounter, Marcus Steele knew deep down inside this was only beginning. Their journey toward unity among species would continue onward, fueled by resilience born from trials faced together. The common enemy. As the echoes of their triumph over the trials faded, Marcus Steele, Lyriel, and Zorith stood before Baba Yaga, their hearts still racing from the challenges they had faced. The ancient being regarded them with a mixture of respect and intrigue, her wild hair framing a face that seemed both ageless and wise. A new threat emerges. You have proven yourselves worthy, Baba Yaga said, her voice a low rumble that resonated through the clearing. But now, you must prepare for what lies ahead. A darkness approaches, a force that threatens not only your worlds but the very fabric of existence itself. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. What do you mean? What is this darkness? Baba Yaga's expression grew grave. An ancient enemy has awakened, one that seeks to consume all in its path. It is a being of pure chaos, born from the remnants of worlds lost to time. It hungers for power and will stop at nothing to achieve its goals. Lyriel stepped forward, her voice steady. How can we fight such a force? We have just begun to understand our own strengths. You will not face this enemy alone, Baba Yaga replied. You must unite the council and rally your allies. Only together can you hope to stand against this threat. The call to action. With newfound determination, Marcus turned to Lyriel and Zorith. We need to return to the council chamber immediately. If we can convince them of this danger, we might be able to form an alliance strong enough to confront it. Baba Yaga nodded in agreement. Time is of the essence. The darkness grows stronger with each passing moment. As they made their way back through the mystical forest, Marcus felt a sense of urgency driving him forward. The trials had tested their abilities and forged a bond between them, but now they faced a challenge far greater than any individual struggle. Rallying the council. Upon returning to the council chamber, the atmosphere was charged with tension. Representatives from various species were gathered, discussing the implications of Marcus's earlier visit and the trials he had faced. High Chancellor Vexen floated above the assembly, his bioluminescent patterns shifting rapidly as he spoke. We must address the implications of this human diplomat's presence among us. What does it mean for our future? Marcus stepped forward, his heart pounding in his chest as he prepared to speak. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, he began, his voice steady despite the weight of their gazes upon him. I come before you not just as a representative of humanity but as a harbinger of warning. The room fell silent as all eyes turned toward him. A great darkness approaches, a force that threatens us all, he continued passionately. Baba Yaga has revealed that an ancient enemy has awakened, one that seeks to consume everything in its path. Skepticism and fear. Murmurs rippled through the assembly as skepticism filled the air. Daxer's crystalline appendages clinked together in irritation. And why should we believe you? Your kind is known for exaggerating threats. Zorith interjected, his voice calm yet firm. We have witnessed this darkness firsthand during our trials with Baba Yaga. It is real and growing stronger by the day. Ambassador Krill buzzed with concern, his multifaceted eyes darting around the room as he processed their words. If what they say is true, we cannot afford to ignore it. Vexen's luminescence shifted to deep blue as he considered their claims. What do you propose we do? Forming an alliance. We must unite our forces, Marcus urged passionately. We have seen how powerful we can be when we work together. If we pool our resources and knowledge, we can stand against this enemy. Lyriel stepped forward, her voice resonating with conviction. Each species here possesses unique strengths. Together, we can create a formidable alliance capable of facing any threat. The council members exchanged glances filled with uncertainty but also flickers of hope. Very well, Vexen finally said, his patterns shifting back to green, a sign of acceptance. Let us convene a summit where each representative can voice their concerns and contributions toward this alliance. Preparing for battle. As plans began to take shape within the council chamber, Marcus felt a sense of urgency fueling their discussions. They needed to act quickly, time was running out. Days passed as representatives from various species shared their knowledge and resources, each contributing unique strengths that would aid in their fight against the encroaching darkness. Marcus worked tirelessly alongside Lyriel and Zorith, coordinating efforts and ensuring that every voice was heard within this newly formed coalition. Baba Yaga's guidance. Throughout this process, Baba Yaga remained a guiding presence, her wisdom invaluable as she shared insights into ancient strategies used by civilizations long gone. You must understand your enemy, she advised during one meeting held deep within the heart of her enchanted forest sanctuary. Study its patterns, learn its weaknesses. With each passing day, Marcus felt more empowered by this alliance, an intricate tapestry woven from diverse threads representing countless worlds united against a common foe. The calm before the storm. As preparations continued, there was an air of anticipation building within the coalition, a sense that something monumental was about to unfold. But beneath that anticipation lay an undercurrent of fear, a reminder that they were facing an unknown force capable of unimaginable destruction. Marcus often found himself reflecting on humanity's journey thus far, the struggles they had faced on Earth and how those experiences had shaped them into resilient beings capable of overcoming adversity. What if we fail? Lyriel asked one evening as they gathered around a flickering fire deep within Baba Yaga's forest sanctuary. We won't, Marcus replied firmly, meeting her gaze with determination in his eyes. We have each other, and together we are stronger than any darkness that dares challenge us. With those words echoing in their hearts like a rallying cry, a promise forged through unity, they prepared themselves for what lay ahead, an epic confrontation against an ancient enemy threatening not just their worlds but all existence itself. As dawn broke on the horizon, the first rays illuminating their path forward, Marcus Steele knew deep down inside that this was only just beginning. Together they would rise against whatever challenges awaited them.